terrified from you.
My hands were up.
You terrified me. You scared me.
I didn't even have anything in my hand.
You scared me.
And again, my goal is to go home alive.
The organized and orchestrated criminality and propaganda that's aligned against us, from fake stream CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra Media, and local and state law enforcement agencies, is off the charts. I don't know if you remember, but a little while back I did a video on this guy. This is former Lieutenant Ferman from the Melvindale, Michigan Police Department. Well, yesterday he was arraigned and charged with misconduct in office, felonious assault, and assault and battery. I'm going to play this news story, but I want you to tell me what you think is missing. There's a vital component missing that they will never talk about.
But we begin tonight with a Melvindale police lieutenant hit with a slew of criminal charges that could send him to prison for years. Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Thank you for joining us. Now, the charges stem from 3 separate alleged assaults that were all revealed by the 7 investigators.
First of all, 3 separate alleged assaults. Not only were they video recorded, they were recorded from multiple body cams from different angles. There is no allegation when you have evidence. That's one thing.
For the last 8 months, 7 investigator Ross Jones has shed light on Lieutenant Matthew Ferman's polarizing history with the department.
From a string of lawsuits to allegations of excessive force and claims that he improperly tased people.
And while
allegations of excessive force, claims of improperly tasing people. Don't you love the euphemisms? It's like roadside electrocution. It is evidence of assault and battery.
Ferman has withstood past efforts to take his badge. The charges announced today mark the biggest threat to his law enforcement career.
7 investigator Ross Jones has the latest on these major developments.
When they talk about being tough on crime, sometimes that means being tough on criminals.
Today, Lieutenant Matthew Ferman is accused of being a criminal after Wayne County's prosecutor authorized charges stemming from 3 separate alleged assaults dating back the last 4 years.
Can you tell him the cop? Can you tell him? I'm not
I
doing
said hands on the roof. Stop or you will get tasered. When I tell you to do something, you do it. End of story.
2 of the incidents involve use of a taser. In July of last year, Ferman stopped Dracar Williams for driving around traffic barricades. Williams, who had a suspended license, should not have been driving. And after he refused to provide his name, Ferman moved to arrest him. While his partner held Williams outside of the car,
his partner held Williams. I'm just going to go ahead and jump to it. I don't know about you, but if I help someone while they're committing a crime or protect someone who committed a crime in my presence while I had my hands on the person that they're committing a crime against, then I can expect to be held to the same standard as Ferman. If I'm the helper of Ferman, I'm an accomplice to Ferman. No news story or police department even talks about this.
Behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Hands behind your back.
You do it. He got me.
Ferman began to tase him repeatedly.
You take up.
This is when this cop right here should have stepped in and said, hey, we ain't doing that. That's not our problem. We're supposed to be protecting and serving. He just had an expired registration. What are you doing? And then grab Ferman and take his gun away, get your buddies around, arrest this guy and throw him in the back of the patrol car in an effort to protect and serve the community.
Stop! Stop!
Ferman said Williams was uncooperative, that he was fearful he could have been carrying a weapon. After Williams was handcuffed, Ferman would be seen arguing with him again. After Williams stood up, Ferman did this.
You will not get up without our permission.
Man, I gotta
sit the down.
I am.
Look at this. How many hands are on him? Is it just Ferman with his hair in his hands holding his head back? Or is his partner not also an accomplice in this crime? This is a crime on camera and only Ferman has been arraigned?
Now you pulling my hair.
He was never disciplined by his department, but today prosecutor Kim Worthy charged him with misconduct in office, felonious assault, and assault and battery.
Misconduct in office.
We spoke with Williams today.
I told him, you're going to lose your badge over this. No, I'm not. He was confident.
You gonna lose your badge.
I ain't gonna lose. You're gonna lose your freedom because you get to go to jail today, mother.
but it's because of you that they did something. So if it wasn't for you actually looking into something, they wouldn't have never found it.
That's another bad thing. Why did an outside source, i.e. WXYZ from Detroit, have to get involved? Why didn't the command staff step in and get involved and go, you know what? We can't have Ferman out on the street. We can't have him employed anymore. He committed a crime on camera. Go to his house, get a warrant, arrest this guy, take his pension, put him in jail, put a high bond on him, give him a GPS tracker or whatever. But this guy can't get out of jail for at least a year because of what he did to a community member. Nope, not going to have that. Got to have a third party come in and create a public relations nightmare for the police department that gets so overwhelming they got to do something with Ferman just so that they can look good in the eyes of the community.
Morning. Lieutenant Ferman, Melvindale Police Department.
He would also be charged over this stop from 3 months earlier when Ferman pulled over a vehicle that was already parked. Alicia Cook and her 2 daughters were sitting outside of a school while Cook waited to drop off her 11-year-old at cheerleading practice. When Cook didn't provide her license and registration, Ferman tried to pull her from her vehicle, and after she resisted, he took out his taser and fired.
You're gonna be tasered! Help out!
Does this in front of her kids. This guy is a verified psychopath, a true present danger to the community. He was put on suspension once and brought back. Why? Because the police union stepped in and they appealed the decision. And they put this guy back out on the street where he could victimize more community members. That's how much this police department, the Melvindale Police Department and the command staff cares about the people in Melvindale.
The charges that would be filed against Cook would be dismissed, and today she is suing Ferman and the department for how she was treated.
Charges dismissed. The prosecutors, the judges, the police chief, they're all in on it. Protect and serve? What a freaking lie.
Terrified from
My
you.
hands were
You
up.
terrified me.
I
You
didn't
scared
even
me.
have anything in my hand.
You scared me.
Ferman was not disciplined by the department.
You scared me? We gotta hear this again.
I was terrified from
My
you.
hands were
You
up.
terrified me.
I
You
didn't
scared
even
me.
have anything in my hand.
You scared me.
Ferman was
That is a frickin' psycho. How many more skeletons are in this guy's closet? He probably has a whole house full of skeletons. And all these yahoos just standing around doing nothing, letting him do what he's doing. They're basically saying, hey, you know what? I'm okay with being on the same team as a psychopath. Because I am one myself.
not disciplined by the department.
I am grateful that they, taking the time to say, hey, this person's actions was not okay. We're going to do something about this.
Today, we spoke with Alicia Cook.
My daughter that I was taking to school, she's in a mental hospital today. So his actions caused a lot of pain, but I do forgive him.
Watch his door.
The earliest charges stem from this 2021 police chase. The suspect had stolen a vehicle, police said, after striking an officer. And after his vehicle crashed, the man fled on foot before officers surrounded him. As officers tried to subdue the man, a Dearborn officer's body cam caught Ferman repeatedly stomping on the man's leg. Another can be heard warning that cameras are rolling.
That's the thin blue line wall of silence. Hey, Ferman, be careful. We got cameras. Cameras. Don't do it. Don't do it. You could get in trouble. This could look bad in the eyes of the community. They could put pressure on the police chief. You could get a multi-day suspension with pay. And he just keeps on kicking. And all the cops keep on standing by. How many of them are there? One. There's another one behind him, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. And 7 makes the guy with the body cam that we're looking through right now. Not one of them did anything.
Cameras all around, guys.
The Dearborn officer reported Ferman's actions to his supervisor. Ferman said the man was resisting, and he used the stomps as a form of pain compliance. He was not disciplined by Melvindale, but was charged by the prosecutor today. Ferman.
Nobody. Okay, so the cop standing there could have stopped it. He could have stopped Ferman's criminal activity and been a hero on the internet. but instead he chose to tell the police chief and his command staff, who did absolutely nothing, and he wasn't charged until today. This happened a while back.
And has previously defended his actions, calling himself a proactive police officer and saying it's never been more dangerous to be in law enforcement, as evidenced by the murder of fellow officer Mohammed Saeed just last year.
You know, people say, well, Ferman uses too much force, he's too aggressive, he's a robot. And again, my goal is to go home alive.
In his mind, he think he right. But finally somebody else see that he wrong.
Well, my goal is to go home alive. You scared me. You scared me.
Ferman has not responded to messages seeking comment, nor has the city's police chief. The mayor declined comment on the charges from today. Lawrence Coogan, the city's corporation counsel, told me by phone he plans to meet with the city's public safety commission and deputy chief soon, moving to suspend Ferman without pay as a result of the charges. He said the city needs to investigate who within the department allowed Ferman's behavior to continue in the first place. Ferman is set to be arraigned tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Well, you certainly brought all of this to light, and I know even young kids in Detroit now are taught.
And how many of these criminal actions by law enforcement officers are not brought to light because nobody in the police department is going to say anything, while people in the community continue to be terrorized by these psychos?
How to respond when they're pulled over by police officers, and you should comply, but you should also not be in danger when you're pulled over.
Well, and a lot of his biggest critics are his fellow officers. And for them to be bothered by a lot of things that they saw, I think speaks volumes. All right.
They weren't bothered enough. They weren't bothered enough to do anything. And then when some of them did report, the upper echelon did nothing. But wait, there's more.
Avondale police officer accused of misconduct on the job again.
In fact, he's been accused of aggressive behavior 3 separate times dating back to 2021, but somehow he was always reinstated.
Somehow, gee, I don't know why. It must be a culture of police criminality. It must be the law enforcement acceptance of thuggery. It must be the affinity they have toward tyranny and the abject hatred they have for liberty. That must be it.
Fox News' Dave Kinchin here with what he's accused of this time. Dave.
What he's accused of this time.
Well, we can tell you there's not a lot of talk coming from Melvindale officials tonight. The mayor of Melvindale says there's no comment at this time, and the police administration says the same as they got word of the charges, and now this process is taking its pathway forward. Troubled Melvindale police officer Lieutenant Matthew Ferman now facing misconduct charges in 3 separate cases. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office says in July 2024, Ferman tased a man twice and kicked him after pulling him over for improper plates. April of 2024, prosecutors allege Ferman tased a mother in front of her kids after failing to get her out of a car when she refused to show her ID. And
that's okay because he was scared, and as long as a police officer is fearing for his life, he can do pretty much whatever he wants to. The sky's the limit. Plus, he's got qualified immunity.
In July of 2021, prosecutors say he kicked a handcuffed suspect multiple times after investigators say they fled a traffic stop.
I was surprised that criminal charges were filed. I'm aware of the disciplinary process in Melvindale. They've actually reached out.
I'm surprised criminal charges were filed. Why? Because it doesn't happen all the time. I mean, cops get away with literal murder. Just think Daniel Shaver, Philando Castile, and Johnny Hurley, and nothing ever happens to them. So I'm surprised they filed criminal charges against Mr. Ferman.
To me, asked me for my opinion on this.
Retired Detroit Police Assistant Chief Steve Dolan says he'll be involved in a disciplinary process with a lot to sort out.
In a criminal case, they wait till the criminal case is done, and if he's found guilty, well, he's going to lose the MCOL certification anyway. He'll appeal, and then they'll start the disciplinary process. At which point, who's ever in charge would write up the charges. They go in front of a board, and it's yay or nay, and you present witnesses. And you're found guilty or not guilty. It goes anywhere from a verbal reprimand to dismissal, which, it's my understanding, he's been dismissed at least once.
And brought back.
That's the range. Criminal charges to dismissal. I don't want just termination. I don't want just pension liquidation. I want penitentiary in his case, for the rest of his life. Is that too much to ask? Is that outside the pale of justice?
Back to the job through the arbitration process, despite past complaints.
There used to be an old saying that if you've never been sued, you've never been a cop. Okay, excessive force is different.
This has been going on for it looks like 3 or 4 years, and I'm curious as to why there hasn't been some action taken in advance.
James Tiganelli is president of the Police Officers Association of...
He's the president of a police officers association, and he doesn't understand why this has taken so long. You don't think this guy has witnessed firsthand active police criminality as identified in the Mullen Commission when they investigated the NYPD for wide-scale systemic corruption? You don't think this guy knows what's going on? He's just putting on a game face for mainstream media.
Michigan. They don't represent Melvindale, but he says these types of repeat issues only hurt the law enforcement profession.
This is a guy that's been bad for a while, and we're better off being running short-handed than hiring the wrong person.
So how do you nip these kind of things in the bud?
Well, that starts at the local. That starts at the department. I mean, they should challenge it by, discipline.
How do you nip them in the bud? You don't give psychopaths unbridled power, a utility belt, a gun, the authority of the state, and then top it all off with a big cherry of qualified immunity. And that's just for starters.
Disciplining them, firing them, doing those types of things, and then he has a right through the process to appeal that.
Well, we did reach out to that lieutenant at the office phone, left a message there. Again, city officials not talking about this case as they watch this all play out. The lieutenant will be in court tomorrow to be arraigned on those charges. We're live tonight. Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, that scale anywhere between verbal discipline all the way to dismissal is a pretty broad scale, and that's kind of
not broad enough. Not broad enough. In clear cases of recorded police criminality, jail time should always be on the table. Always.
What brings this all together in the first place? I mean, he's had issues before. They've handled it before. But again, the spectrum between verbal discipline and dismissal is pretty broad.
Yeah, it really is, and especially in that July 2021 case, the release from the prosecutor's office says that several officers did have that suspect secured. They were in the process of handcuffing and all of that when more of that alleged physical activity from the lieutenant took place there too. So police are looking at all of this, really prosecutors looking at all of this, including talking to some of these officers from the other departments, because in that one case there were officers from other departments involved in securing that suspect. So a lot of details going into this investigation tonight.
Yeah,
they should be looking at Ferman's entire history, and anybody who's ever been arrested by Ferman, those cases should be looked into, and those people should probably be released. No telling how many people are sitting in jail, how many innocent people are in jail because of this psychopathic tyrant. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. I want to thank everybody who's a member of this channel, anybody who's ever donated through Cash App or Patreon or Subscribestar. Thank you for liking and sharing these videos. Thank you for being a subscriber and for hitting that bell notification icon. The goal here is to expose tyranny so we can live in real, honest to goodness liberty. I'll see you in the next video.